That is a beautiful sunrise. Good morning, welcome back guys. We're getting out here. We're in the bay right now. It's mid-November. Just checked the water temps are 54 in the back bay, so they definitely dropped. It was a cold night last night. Right now it's 40 degrees, air temps. This is like, I think, when the fish really start putting on their last feed before they move out. So today though, we're gonna actually try for stripers at the bridge. We're gonna see the bay, see what the bay's working with. Once that's done, we'll move into the sound, try for blackfish. Bass is a timing thing. They definitely can be a little tricky sometimes if you're not, dialed into the bite, tide, stuff like that, but let's see, let's give it a go. We gotta try for bass at least once. This beautiful sky though, this is incredible. There's definitely some kind of fish here on the bottom. I don't know if they're bass. There's a few small marks I found under there, but the current is just dead slack. I think we're at high tide slack. So those fish, they really just don't feed very much, at least at the bridge. I probably could find them in the back bay. That's probably where you have a better chance when the water's like this. But I just don't really have time to go searching for them. So, and that area is kind of far to get to. So I'm just gonna troll my way into the sound. I'm marking a lot of bait. There's not really fish on it though. Maybe a fish or two right there. Let's just see if we can get some blackfish. If the blackfish bite is like completely off, then I'll mess around with these bass. Yeah, I think we're gonna stay right here. I don't think there's gonna be much current at all. Let's start with small pieces. Okay, really small pieces. 22 feet. Getting some taps. Just let it swing like a pendulum. Oh, man. I don't know what that was. Could be porgies, yeah. Oh, school of porgies in. Alright, we'll keep them a little bit bigger than that. That's a pretty nice one, though. Cracked shell. I want to be closer to the bigger rock. Whoa. I don't know what that was. Whoa. Is it a bass? That's a blackfish bite for sure. Start. Any like sharp tap like that is pretty good, but you don't want to set on those. It's always a pull. You want your rod going down. That's a pull. Better fish. And that to me is a perfect crab. Get the guts exposed a little bit there, but leave the shell on most of the way. Just move it up and down a little bit sometimes. It's a good pull. Not yet though. Alright, mostly small fish. Still not yet. I kind of just don't want to clean fish if I don't get anything. Probably next weekend the porgies might be gone. It's possible. End December, they're usually gone. I want big porgies though. I want big porgies. It seems like the porgies have found my spot though. Right now though, I'm just getting porgies. For sure. This is all like porgy stuff. Let's throw the underwater camera down. What do you say? Okay, so to give you a little bit more context of what was going on, I did catch a couple blackfish, but then the bite did definitely slowed and the porgies just seemed to take over. Now I did move around a little bit. I've moved to like one other little area, but it wasn't that far away where there might have been like a taller boulder. But the same thing was happening, you know. You'll see here like just one blackfish, maybe two, and they're not really in that frenzy mode. And you can definitely tell that they're not because you're just not getting a whole lot of the blackfish bites. You're just getting a lot of the tap, tap, taps, very machine gun type feels, and that's the porgy chewing on it. Every once in a while you get the blackfish bite, but yeah, you can see there's just not a lot of blackfish. There's those rocks in the background of what they look like. But yeah, because there's not a lot of blackfish, the competition's not high, and the bite is just very picky. Yeah, the porgies are all down there. See them on the screen again. Shoot, look at all those porgies. That's what it is. It's like the school is just following me. Like the moment I start getting the bite sort of built, the porgy school just like comes over. I mean, it's possible that they attract a blackfish or two. That's a nice size, but I don't know if I want to wait around that long for it. You can tell the porgies are like the very bouncy machine gun type bites. So they're just like that. That's all porgy. Yeah, so you were seeing there what a porgy bite looks like, and on the underwater you were seeing how they were kind of munching on it. Here is a good example of a blackfish bite. So you see how quickly he attacks the crab and just sort of shakes his head. Those are those sharp taps right there. That's a sharp tap you're going to feel. And this is a small blackfish, so the tap's not going to feel that large, but that's one way that they attack it. Yeah, and that's it. And you see that guy just kind of swam off there. These bites are tough. When there's not a lot of blackfish around, the bite is just very difficult. So, yeah, pretty glad that I moved after this. The boulders in here were very nice. Some of them are pretty close to each other too, which is always what I like to see. But yeah, not too many blackfish, and just a lot of porgies. I'm getting out of this zone. I'm gonna go over to another area where I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot more blackfish. So let's go over there. This, I don't know, just too many porgies, I think. And the blackfishes aren't here that thick. I could just tell the bites were not blackfish bites that much. And I'm pretty sure the underwater is going to show, you know, similar to what I'm thinking. So, all right, let's get over there. So much bait, like it's crazy. Bait balls galore. I don't see fish on it though. All right, we made it to the little out in the middle of nowhere kind of spot. Just gonna drop a crab on here. See what happens. I'm not gonna give it too much time, you know. If there's something here, so be it. If not, we will move on. Current's picked up a little bit. Ooh, getting bites. That's sea bass. Oh man. I don't know what that is. It could be a blackfish actually. I think it's a sea bass. Wow, my screen is lit. Look at that screen. Super big sea bass. Whoa. Wow. Oh my goodness. What? What? Western Sound sea bass. What? Oh my goodness. It's crazy. There's a couple more on there too. He's 20 inches. Dude. Oh no. Alright, he's 20 inches. You guys gotta trust me. Wow. That is amazing. It's not a very big boulder. This time of year though, I guess it doesn't take much. I definitely think there's more sea bass in there because, dude, there was a bunch of fish that swam up with him. That was a sea bass MO though. As soon as I picked up the jig off the ground, I felt them grab it. Oh my gosh. I don't think there's any crab left. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's a blackfish. Wow. Never seen something like this. Nice female. There's a lot more fish down there. Let's leave this shell on. Man, these fish are just absolutely on a tear right now. Every time I pull a fish up, the whole school just goes wild. I'm gonna put a jumbo-sized crab on here with the shell on. Just try that. that's a big fish. Oh my gosh. Wow. 15 and a half. Oh man. Dude, there's some big fish on this little piece. Oh man. He got me in there pretty good though. I think we'll be okay. Gotta tighten this drag a little bit. Gonna try the underwater with a very tiny piece. I hope I don't get like broken off, but I just want to see what's down there. I don't know if it's gonna come out. Alright, so this is one of my favorite things about doing underwater is I finally learned what this structure was. I always thought it was just a boulder, and it really wasn't that busy with fish, you know, previous times I've been on it. But this time, the fish were just stacked. So you're going to see a little bit to the left, I think it was a boulder, but then there's just definitely a shipwreck of some kind, some sort of wreckage. And you're going to see right here, I'm slowing it down to the right, yeah, right there. You know, some sort of a window or something. Alright, so we got a lot of fish down there. I'm going to retie this a little bit. It's not worth it. Alright. I think there's like big fish down there. And it almost looks like it's like a part of a wreck, or maybe, I don't know. It did look like a boulder, but then it also looked like some kind of debris. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. There's a lot of fish down there too. This is what you call a hot bite for sure. I'm gonna have to put bigger pieces on. Shell on. Just like that. Just throw it on there. Oh. Big fish, big fish. He's gonna make a run. Oh. Big blackfish, look at that thing. Wow. Wow. Whoa. Oh. Look at the teeth on that thing. Wow. Dang, man. Look at those teeth. Wow. Nice fish. Twenty inches. That's a nice male. I'll keep him. Good fish. Man, took that tiny jig. I was nervous I wasn't gonna get him. Crazy. Oh man. Oh yeah, that's a 20-inch sea bass and a 20-inch togg. That's crazy. For the western sound, that's just unbelievable. That's what got him too, that whole crab. I really almost didn't get that fish out of the structure. This rod is right about at its max for these types of fish. I was not expecting that kind of fish to be here. Oh, it got me on that one. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to lose this one. I'm gonna switch to this because man, this wreck requires a little bit more. So we got a little heavier tackle now. So now we're using 15 pound to 30 pound leader. Before I only had 8 to 20. So yeah, this wreck or whatever it is a little too sticky to be doing that. And I hope that like breaking that fish off didn't like kill the bite or something. I think it's just because I'm putting shells on and stuff that it's slowed down. Man, that bite was so furious though when I first got here. Crazy. Yeah, I'm too close to this wreck. Look at that. Crazy. Oh my gosh. It's so crazy. Look at all these fish that like come up. Oh man. That's a decent one. Look at the... Oh, did he seriously got me in there? Dang, that's a tall structure. Wow. Somehow I'm connected with the structure 20 feet off the bottom. Or no, 10 feet off the bottom. No wonder. Someone else's line. It's my line. It's my line. At least the fish got free. monster. Oh. Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh. Look at that screen. Come here, girl. I'm probably gonna let you go. Oh. Wow. That's a big one. Big female. A 20-incher. Oh. I'll let her go. I probably kept her mate right there, you know, the two 20-inchers. But there's plenty other males down there. Wow. It's great too, it's not that deep, so she's completely healthy right now. Look at those teeth. There you go. Reward. Alright, girl. Please make more. Just when I thought this spot was like cooling off. I think that's probably it though. Those are I think the two biggest fish on this piece. Could be wrong. Oh, here come the fish. Oh, you know what it is? They probably stole the crab and then started swimming away with it, and all their friends just started following them. He's like in his mouth. When I pull up a fish, the screen gets so lit up. These fish just get so hyped. Okay, this underwater is pretty cool. Water is very clear, so very thankful that I got to capture these fish. But yeah, off to the top right, that's actually a mantis shrimp burrow. So I see a lot of them at this spot. It's a very good sign for all types of fish. And this is a very silty, muddy bottom, so it gets stirred up quite a bit once the fish get really going. You know, they stir up the bottom, and that's why sometimes the jig can actually get lost down there on the bottom. I feel like sometimes in these situations, a rig setup is actually sometimes preferred, at least for me personally. I've noticed you get more bites sometimes with a rig. And yeah, you're not really seeing the wreck anymore. It's because I did move off of it a little bit. I was just trying to get away from the really super sticky part. But I did notice that a lot more smaller fish seemed to be biting once I was off the wreck. So I'm not sure, but maybe there was a few more bigger fish that were hiding inside the wreck. But yeah, really from this point on, I was only getting, you know, smaller, undersized keeper fish. And what I was observing too on my fish finder is every time I'd catch a fish, no matter what it was, I would see the rest of the fish come up off the bottom and chase that fish. It's pretty cool, and you're seeing it here too on the underwater. They're doing exactly what I was thinking they were doing. And then you're gonna start seeing I start drifting slightly closer to the wreck. You'll notice the bottom changes a little bit too, which I find interesting. It seems to be more broken shells, a slightly harder bottom right on the outskirts of the structure. And yeah, I think that's the ideal place you want to be, but you know, obviously you get too close to that structure and you're in trouble, especially with light gear. But yeah, if you look closely on the next few clips, you'll actually see some bigger blackfish like inside the structure, sort of being a little bit curious but not attacking the bait. So yeah, I don't know if you saw that one blackfish to the left kind of dig back into the structure. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the front hatch of a sailboat. I mean, that's my best guess. I'm not sure, but I definitely think it's a boat of some kind, and that's the front hatch of it, you know, in the bow. They're coming back to life. It's alive though. The piece is back alive. These fish definitely have just turned on. Alright, so just in closing, I have a couple jig clips too at the end that I did. You're seeing it there though. It does definitely get lost in all that silt. So yeah, I think the jig is still, you know, the better option, but I feel like when you're in silty stuff like this and there's a lot of fish and they stir it up, you want to either suspend the bait on the jig a little bit or just go to a rig so that the crab can kind of hover maybe 12 inches or so off the bottom there. And I think it's just a little bit better. Blackfish is still alive. Alright guys, so headed back in. I'm in the bay. It got a little sporty there. That south definitely picked up. You know, I was thinking that was going to happen, but I really should have left 30 minutes earlier than I actually did. Then it would have been just a lot easier getting back in, but well. And that bite was like very weird. It was like turning back on, then it would go silent again. Pretty incredible to get 20-inch sea bass, 20-inch blackfish, and another 20-inch blackfish that I released, you know. 3 nice, you know, 20-inch fish for Western Sound in like this area is very, very good. That's what was interesting too, is that those are the only keepers of blackfish over there. So I don't know. Like, I'm very interested what that piece looks like. Hopefully I can see it on the underwater. didn't have much sun, but I think it actually might be a wreck, or there might be some sort of wreckage around a boulder, because you know, I got snagged and I felt very sticky. It didn't feel like a boulder, because I couldn't even like get out. You know, I tried like doing a circle around the snag and try to get it out, and it wouldn't come out. So I don't know, there's something pretty sticky there, some sort of wreckage, I think. All right, happy to get out, but gotta get in. Let's see if we can get another day in. We'll see. Weather depending. Hopefully I can get out at least like one or two more times. I pretty much call it quits at the end of November. December is really not worth it to me. The fish really get sluggish and move deeper. So, all right, let's see if we got a couple more days. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Yeah, this was a pretty nice blackfish. You know, these fish are relatively slow growing. The meat is pretty dense, but it does have a lot of water in it. So I tried to ice the fish for at least 8 hours and then fillet it, and then put it in the fridge with the paper towels for at least 24 hours. And you'll see a big difference in the meat, because a lot of the water comes out of the meat, you know, and into the paper towels, and you just end up with a much better preparation.
I've never seen something this big inside a togg. I don't know what this is. It's a spider crab. Yeah, those are spider crabs. It's pretty digestive, but the legs are intact. Definitely a spider crab. Spider crab have a very pointy tip on their leg.
And in addition, Dan from Fishing Accomplished, he had recommended that I create like a fish stock. So that's what I did with both of these fish. I actually kept the carcasses, took out the gills, took out the guts, and I boiled the remainder of the fish and the bones in water. And then you'll see later I just kind of added some vegetables and seasoning. It made a pretty good fish stock. It came out really good. So thanks, Dan, for that suggestion. Alright, on to the sea bass. A very nice sea bass as well. These don't get too much bigger than this, especially in the Western Sound where I caught this fish. But the sea bass are delicious. I think they're my favorite in our area. And I just think they have a flakier meat. They're a little bit faster growing than blackfish, so they seem to be a little bit more prolific. But yeah, there's so many ways to cook sea bass. Typically, I will cook it whole.
It's probably mantis shrimp. Yep. It's a mantis shrimp. Pretty full, intact one too. That's another one. So he had two.
And yeah, that makes sense that he had mantis shrimp, because we saw those mantis burrows in near that wreck where I caught those fish. But since we're not cooking this fish whole, I'm going to fillet it and wrap it in the paper towel just like the blackfish, and put it in the fridge for 24 hours, and this will help remove some of the water out of those fillets as well. Alright, so on to the frying. I did this two ways. I'm going to fry it with just typical cornmeal and then a panko, and then I also did a blackening. So I did these fish two ways, and I prefer the blackening. I think my kids probably prefer just the typical fried style. But yeah, another trick I do is I'll actually grind up the pankos. If you put this in the blender for a little bit, and it kind of creates like a little bit more of a powder. So when you dip it in the egg and then into this finely ground up panko, it just seems to coat the fish a little bit more, so you get an even crispier coating. And while that's going, I'm making a tartar sauce. Tartar sauce in the store is not great. Even at restaurants, it's not really good. But if you make it homemade yourself, you'd be shocked at how good it is. So, yeah, just onions and then fresh dill to start, and we'll come back for the rest of this. But I'm having to take these off and then salt them as soon as they come off. So back to the tartar sauce, you're gonna add mayo, and then a tiny bit of Worcestershire sauce, and a little bit of lemon juice. And then of course for the final ingredient, you'll need actual dill pickles. Now some people will finely chop them, but I actually like to put them in the grinder a tiny bit to kind of get them at different sizes. But yeah, helps get the juices in there too, I think, a little better. So yeah, here's just sort of a recap of what we're cooking. That's the blackened one. That's the fish stock going, and those are the typical fried ones going. Yeah, you're seeing this is actually a cut from a different night when I cooked the blackened fish. It just came out a little bit better on this night, and I had more of it to show you, so that's that. But yeah, I like Calabrian chili peppers. They're pretty spicy. They go great with fish, in my opinion. But yeah, I'll put that with the tartar sauce and the fish, and either have it on a sandwich or with some rice, and it's excellent. Yeah, I'm boiling the fish stock.
That's good. It's a good idea to give the reward of the fish,
Oh, that's so perfect.
It is good to do that sometimes.
If you're daring, try it with one of my spicy peppers. If you're daring. Good.
Excellent.
All right. So after straining, I strained all of it. And added some vegetables. This is some lemongrass, onions, carrots, celery, bay leaf, and some seasonings. That's it. It's almost like a chicken soup, really. It's so good. It's so rich. That is delicious.